There we go. Welcome. Back to the podcast. Let's do something stupid. Part 2, Volume 9.
All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is going to be a part 2 of the other episode that we did last night, actually. This is a different day. This is also the first time I want to say that we're recording during daylight.
Yeah, daylight. Daytime.
Yeah.
This is like a job now. Shit, we're serious.
Yeah, we're serious about this. The light, I'm only saying that because the lighting might change quite a bit while we're recording this.
That is true.
Not like anybody is going to care, but
you never know. There's the nerds out there.
But this is going to be part 2, so a continuation of what we were talking about in our last episode, which was mostly van life and all things vans and van dwelling.
Problem is, I think we got so far into like the beginnings of the concept of wanting van life, just thinking about it, dreaming about it, but we never really got to the van life.
Yeah, not the life part.
Yeah, the life part, the nitty gritty. Like how does this life work?
So I made some notes. Actually, this is the first time also that I've made notes.
I have a notebook, but I don't have any specific notes in this one.
Okay. Well, maybe we should just start out by mostly me and like a continuation of like what I did while I lived in the van.
Quick refresh, just where we left off. Like, we left off with kind of the story of the build, the acquisition, and then the sad demise of said van. But we skipped how long in between? Like how big of a chunk of time was actual van life time?
Well, we bought the van in 2018, and I moved out of the van in 2020. So the beginning of 2018.
But then I remember you didn't sell it for quite a year and a half or so after that still. So
yeah, and I sold her in 2023.
Okay. So that puts the actual van living time in the 2018 to 2020 period, which is a good chunk of time. Like, that's not easy. That's like, that's real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So were you obviously going from pristine national park to pristine national park, diving in crystal blue, clear waters?
No, not even close.
What do you mean?
That was always something that I wanted to do. Obviously, that's like why a lot of people buy vans in the first place. But it was definitely more of I got the van dumped on me, and it just became survival after that.
Okay. So we're in a different...
That's how it started anyway. It definitely grew into something like I grew an immense amount of love for that van, and it shaped me into who I am today for sure in a large way. But no.
Interesting. Could I quick one thing about your personality / like living style that you think van life particularly like instilled upon you?
Yeah.
What would that be?
Just one thing in particular?
Yeah, just like one little example, something.
Resilience.
Ah, nice.
For
Solid.
sure.
That's great.
It was definitely like I didn't really have time to like dilly-daddle. You know what I mean? Like if something was going wrong, I didn't have anyone to lean on.
Yeah.
I didn't have a whole lot of resources. I had to figure shit out on my own.
So
meaning
resilience
like
plus like a little bit of a DIY spirit of like I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah. So like that was mostly me like figuring out where I was gonna live in the city. Because
such a subject I'm so interested in.
I didn't know. I was still very new to Seattle, and so I stuck with what I knew, which was
For those of you not from Seattle, I just want to point out here that this is very important. As someone from Seattle, I will distinctly say that Seattle is a wonderful city full of 8 to 10 different micro cities that are significantly different each. In just like personality, style, just I don't know, all kinds of things. So I'm always curious, like where you landed and how you landed there,
Yeah, so I was mostly hanging out in Northgate, and that was just because my friends lived in Northgate, and it's nice to be close to people that I knew, and so that helped me in a lot of ways, and I was very central to like a lot of things too, and it helped me also to like because I worked downtown at that time.
Just a historical transit detail. Was that was the North Gate light rail line running
No,
by
it was
then?
way before the Northgate light
So
light
it was
rail.
convenient, but not that
Oh man,
convenient.
my life would have been very different if the
Oh,
light
yeah.
rail was up there around that time. Yeah, no,
Sketchy
it was
bus story upcoming.
yeah. Well, no, that sketchy bus story was way before I even had the van.
Oh,
Definitely.
I don't know which you'll have to which story.
Well, when I first moved to Seattle, I lived off of Aurora.
Oh, well, that's a sketchy bus story
And-
on the hour.
Yeah,
Like,
and I would take the E line downtown around
Yeah.
4:00 in the morning every morning
ooh, 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Really great time
on the E line.
to be on the Aurora
Yeah.
line. Yeah.
But no, the van life, it was mostly like I took a bus line that I don't even think exists anymore because it was
because there's a light rail now. It probably does not exist anymore.
well, no, I mean I think it was specifically put in. It was when the trains. Oh man, what was it?
Would it take you like to the UW transit station from Northgate and then put you on the train? No.
No, I didn't take the train at all.
No.
Those buses, it was like way back. Oh man, I don't even remember why, but it was way back when the buses were driving through the tunnels.
I don't remember. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Like
I
the
think buses
buses-
still drive through tunnels.
No, like where the link drives through.
Oh, so
like,
now
drives
they don't.
in.
Okay, yeah.
Like
so
the
they don't
light
use-
rail. The
there's a-
buses used to drive down there.
I don't know the history of the tunnels of Seattle, unfortunately. But yes, okay, I get it. So the tunnel changed.
So
use.
obviously
Yes.
that bus route doesn't even exist anymore. But that would be my daily routine is that I would park in Northgate and like that's just like where I would leave the van because ain't no way I was going to drive downtown in my home and park downtown every single day. I was not going to do that.
I see that, but I also see like I see people. It seems like being downtown and like sneakily sleeping in your van might be easier than in a neighborhood. But that's neither here nor there. It's like safety wise, maybe no, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, because I didn't want to have to like think like one of the biggest things that was on my mind constantly when I lived in the van was parking.
Yeah,
And
you
'cause
can't
it's
escape
not-
it.
It's not just where I'm going to park the van. It's also like where I'm going to sleep that night too.
Yeah,
And so most of the time I did not want to think about where I was going to park and where I was going to sleep after I got off work. I already want to have that set up.
Quick aside of like, what is your job at this point?
I worked at Starbucks.
Yeah, and what time in the crazy ass morning?
4:00 in the morning, downtown.
Like you had to be there at 4
I had to
o'clock
be there at 4
with your
o'clock.
eyes open.
Yes.
Ugh.
And I had to catch the bus around like 3:30, 3:20.
Yeah, that's generally when the craziest people are on the bus. I'd
Yeah.
say.
So
Just
I'd wake
100%.
up in the van at 3:00.
No shade on you. I'm just saying.
No. No, yeah. That was my routine. And I did that for, 2-something years. And
It's amazing that you can.
it was
sleep
hard.
at all.
But I would say like the summer of 2018 was probably one of the best summers of my life. I want to say like that was the first summer where I was like fully on my own and like fully van life and figuring shit out and like
Spending a lot of time outside. 'cause it
spending
was
a
super
lot
nice
of time
summer.
outside,
Yeah.
figuring out shit with Rose, but also like realizing that, oh shit, I actually like doing this.
Yeah. Right. You're not like doing this because you have to. You're actually like, I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
I get
And
lots of free time.
Yeah, I absolutely did not have to. Like
How much money you spend at restaurants?
Oh, so much.
Yeah, you're just eating
I
fresh all the
had
time.
so much disposable income when I lived in the van. Like it was crazy.
Tattoos kept coming.
Yeah, I got a bunch of tattoos. I ate out every single meal. I just why not?
Yeah,
I'm not paying rent.
Side benefits. Exactly. That's what you're doing it for. Exactly. The finer things in life.
But yeah, the summer of 2018 was it was also really hard. I have somewhere in my like Rose paper archives, I have like a list of everything mechanical that I ever got done to her, and I have receipts from every single thing.
I can't believe you didn't pass that along to the new van owners.
Well, obviously they got like the diagnosis from
Yeah.
from the mechanic and everything.
Sure,
of
sure,
all
sure.
all the checkup things.
But so that's funny. That was
But
out of
no, that's mine.
yeah.
That's mine. That's mine.
That's sentimental. Those
That's
are
sentimental, man.
Those are sentimental tire receipts.
I still have the original bill of sale too.
That
like
set of tires. So nice.
oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, tires no joke.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite times in van life was when I was gearing up to go on one of like my big road trips to Colorado, and I was
Nice.
getting everything like set and ready to go. And she had like a spare tire metal casing.
Yeah, look cool.
Yeah, and it had a lock on it.
Do you have a Star Wars picture on it?
No.
Conan the Barbarian with a
No, but it had a lock, like a padlock on it. And I didn't have a key to it.
Oh no, that defeats the purpose.
I know. So when I went on my big road trip, because it was always something that like I knew about, I was like, okay, I know I have a spare tire. I probably won't ever use it because I don't have a key to the case that's on it. I'm gonna have to like.
That's the reason you're not going to use it. Because you can't.
Because I literally can't. And I'm like, hopefully I will never have to use this. I'll figure it out someday. It was like at the very bottom of my priority list, you know?
Just halfway through the desert on the way to Colorado, flat tire.
No, this is why I was trying to fix it before I left.
Good.
So before I went on my on my road trip, I was like, okay, this is one of the things that I need to take care of. And so when I went back there and I looked at the padlock and I was like, okay, I just need to get bolt cutters. Easy.
Yeah.
So I went to Home Depot and I went to their rental place and I was like, I need to rent bolt cutters. And they were like, how long do you need them for? And I was like, 5 minutes.
Not suspicious at all. Wait. Just to make this better, this is the Home Depot on Aurora.
On
Avenue.
Aurora, yeah.
Yeah, that's such a common request. They're like that happens so many times a day to these guys. How much do they charge you for the bolt cutters? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, not that much.
Wow, and they did not have a policy against 5-minute bolt cutter renting.
No. They were just like, okay. Honestly, I don't think they charged me. I don't think they charged me.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Because I was back so fast.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Wow.
And I was like, sweet. And the bolt cutters
Burglary is free.
I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting the bolt cutters to be massive either.
Well, it's kind of right there in the name.
Like,
you're supposed to cut a bolt.
The handles on them were like this long.
Yeah, you got to have leverage, dude.
As someone who has never rented or used bolt cutters ever, I had no idea. Is that just how they come?
They should have given you the extra long ones so that your light body weight could
is that why?
Yeah, it's leverage.
Probably.
You're cutting a piece of metal.
They didn't know what I was cutting.
Well, it's in the name once again. Bolt cutters. You're cutting something at least as hard as a bolt, possibly harder like a lock. You know.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying, like Aurora,
all bolt cutters are all bolt cutters that large?
Yes, there's not a small pair.
Okay.
No, there's.
Well, I wasn't expecting
unless there's like an electric pair, an electric pair.
I wasn't expecting that large of bolt cutters for such a tiny person.
Right. Yeah.
But
that made the job easy because you went right out there.
But anyway, yeah. So when I went on there, I cut the bolt off, whatever, and then ran back in and returned the bolt cutters. And when I came back, because I knew that tire wasn't usable because it's been on there for a really long time. So I wanted
nobody's ever opened the lock even.
Yeah, so I wanted to replace it before I went because I'm smart. Mm-hmm. So I took off the metal casing on it, just covered in cobwebs, the entire tire. And of course, you can't just take off a spare tire on one of those things. Well, not me, anyway.
Well, no, yeah, no. I mean, life-ending pitch. If you're gonna die,
I wasn't about to just
No. That's a full-size Chevy van tire.
And then because Rose, kind of old, weathered,
rusted bolts,
a little rusty. The metal casing that was on it pretty much just completely fell apart once I took the casing or took the bolt off. So I was fuck, I don't know what to do with this now.
So wait, now you've got the bolt off and it's just hanging there?
No, the bolt is it's trash.
Okay.
It's gone.
You mean the lock?
The lock.
Okay.
Sorry, let me clarify.
The tire is still bolted to the cobwebby
the
thing.
tire is
Good,
still
good,
on
good.
the thing,
Good,
but like it had like a metal like
Yeah, no, I know.
casing
That's
on
just
it.
garbage.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I wasn't gonna throw it away. It had like Rose's like original
Yeah, you need
like
to
paint
restore
on
that.
it,
You need
and
to
it was so
you need to
pretty.
take that to like a
I did throw it away,
fancy
but
fancy body shop and get it like buffed
but at the
out.
moment, like I was in the Home Depot parking lot, and I mission, man. Right after this, I
How
had
long until you're supposed to leave for the road trip?
a couple of days. I don't know, but I was on a mission because I had like a tire replacement like scheduled. Like
Yep.
I had it was scheduled, so I was like on my way over there. And so I just threw like the metal casing in the back, like on my bed.
So smart.
I didn't know what to do.
Just
with
little rust particles everywhere. Just
So I just threw it on my bed, and then I went to like
why am I so itchy?
I went to fucking like tire discount or something, and they like pried off the old tire and like put a new one on there, and I was so proud of myself that I did that. But then also because this was pre build. This was pre Rose build.
Okay, yeah. Actually,
So-
side quick note questions. How many road trips to Colorado did Rose make?
Oh, quite a bit.
Like-
Probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's a very acceptable number.
I went there several times. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Several's 2, 4 or 5 is 4 or 5. I hope it was in the 4 or 5, maybe even 6. Who knows?
Several is 2. I
Uh,
thought several was 3 or more.
oh, okay. We'll have to check.
A couple is
Check the
2.
notes on that. A couple is 2. That's true. Several is more than a couple. Anyways, I'm glad. Sorry to digress, but I'm glad you made several or more.
Yeah.
Maybe several plus a couple.
Several plus a couple.
Plus a couple, you know? That's a good number.
Yeah. What was I talking about?
Going to
now?
Colorado. And you were like 2 days before.
Oh, this was pre-built. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
pre-build.
pre-rebuild. And so when I was like getting ready and everything, the battery to my fan, like the roof fan, or my roof fan wasn't working, and I was just like, maybe the battery just needs to be like recharged because there was nothing charging it. It was just it's just a deep cycle battery that it was plugged into.
Yeah.
So I was
generally
like,
those need charging.
Maybe I need to charge this somehow. So I just took it to a Batteries Plus store and realized that that the battery was like really heavy, and I parked kind of far away from I parked really far away from the storefront.
Is this the first time you picked up a car battery?
No, I didn't know, but I was just like, oh, I can carry it the whole way. But I was like, why would I carry it the whole way when I
Was
can
it like raining out?
when I can put it on my skateboard and just scoot it over there?
That's what skateboards are for.
And
see?
so
They're so useful.
yeah.
Yeah, you bring them everywhere. I swear.
So I put it on there, and it was my longboard, and I just like scooted it over there.
Plus, you know what? An
And they
adorable
all-
scene from across the street.
I know,
You're like, oh, look
and
at
all the
this.
guys were definitely laughing at me. And
Oh no, yeah, you're cute. This is great. I fell in love right there. I'm like, look at her skateboard a car battery. So ingenious. What'd you say? Resilient. So,
resilience,
yes,
man,
back
for
to the
sure.
keyword.
And
There
then
we
they
go.
charged it for me, and then my fan worked like during the trip back because it was summertime. It was fucking hot,
Yeah.
and that was the summer that I took Christina with me back to my
Yep.
hometown
fun.
to meet everybody.
Got a road trip,
And
buddy.
she was shout out to her because she had to go through all of the pain of like sleeping on my old bed and like just and it was summertime. It was fucking hot. Like when we'd stop and we would sleep just at like truck stops. And
I've definitely had the same kind of Chevy folding bed. And you know, in concept, you look at it and you're like, that's going to be comfortable. It's nice and big and it's all laid out.
It's
but
not
it has
comfortable.
dents
Yeah,
with
yeah.
metal bars,
Metal
in them and like
bars, yeah.
springs that you feel the pokey edge of. Like, yeah, I get the pain.
So I
of those
definitely
things.
like I had.
Did you have pads on top of
I
that?
did. I did. I had as much as I could, you know,
right.
but it's still not comfy.
Princess and the Pea.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I want to tell one of the scariest stories that I ever had while living in the van.
I almost am scared to hear the scary stories because
Well, you know the scary story. I've told you the
but
story before.
I know, and I'm just scared to hear it again.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just to say, as your friend, I am the whole van life, urban van life, and where you chose to live and where you were, you know.
Yeah. So
As once again, as the Seattleite, I would have like had I met you at that point, say like, do not park your van overnight there.
yeah, like
100%.
in hindsight, well, no.
You could have been down on Alki, chilling at the
I
beach.
try not to like, when I think about that time, I try not to like be too hard on myself because I was figuring shit out.
Yeah, and you didn't know anything about this.
But so one of the times that like me and my ex were in the van, we parked on the street and it was in Northgate, so it was pretty close to like all the streets that we normally park on anyway. And we parked there and we were okay most of the night until, deep in the night, and someone like knocked on our door and told us to get the fuck out of there and whatever. And since I was with him, it wasn't really that scary because he just like told him to fuck off, and then we got in the car, we got in the driver's seat and just left, and it was fine.
Yeah,
but that was still...
unfortunately, Karen, neighbor number one, like definitely he kind of won on that one. That sucks, but that's it. Yeah, well, you didn't really. You technically, per the law, you were probably not required to leave. Fuck that guy, but I know how this goes, so yeah.
Yeah, but
no fun having a confrontation at 4 a.m.
No, yeah. We weren't trying to do that.
Yeah.
But
so is that the scary story? I thought there was a different one.
No, you just distracted me.
I'm sorry. We're doing things stupid, like I'm I go like doo.
No, so several, I want to say like a year after that or something, I was around the same area, and I decided to park on that same street again.
Oh my God, do you think it was the same person?
I have no idea.
It kind of sounds like it.
But when I parked on the street,
like literally the same street.
Yes, the same street.
Okay.
And I parked, and I was just exhausted, and I didn't want to I needed to park because I needed to wake up so fucking early in the morning to go to work, and I didn't want to think about parking, and I knew that Rose would be fine parking, leaving her on a residential street rather than parked in front of a business, of course, or something like that. So I parked there, and I parked there later than I normally would park for the night. Usually I would find parking around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I'd just be parked there, depending on what I was doing that day.
Yeah.
But I parked there.
I'm so curious about that. So yeah, that's a side question.
But I parked there closer to maybe 8 or 9 p.m. and just crashed and just went to bed. And then I woke up around maybe around 1 or 2 in the morning to the sound of someone knocking on my window rather aggressively. And I woke up, and that had happened to me a couple of times before, but usually when that happens, they just walk away,
they're not very persistent.
Yeah, and then they just leave. And
but
so
this time
I was listening.
Persistent.
I was listening, and then they just kept knocking, on the window, and then they'd knock on the metal, and then they started to jiggle the door handle, up. The passenger seat.
That's where things get not okay.
I
know,
and I knew, for me, I did not want to shout.
You should have had your old boyfriend's voice on a speaker button. You'd be like, "Hey, get out of here!"
No, oh my God,
it's a safety device.
No, but me, I knew that I didn't want to announce that I was in there because I'm a little girl.
Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted that person to know is that I was in there by myself.
Yeah.
And so I didn't say anything, and I just hoped that they would just go the fuck away. I didn't do anything. But they were being so aggressive that when they were shaking the door handles, they were moving the van while they were doing it. Fuck. It's the scariest fucking thing.
How long do you think this lasted for?
Oh, I mean, it felt like forever.
Yeah.
But probably the whole thing. How long did it last for?
From knocking to shaking to till they finally walk away.
Probably 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's too long. That's way too.
And I didn't know what to do, so I waited until it stopped, and then did
you have some sort of mace type?
No.
You did this van. Oh my fucking God! Really?
Yeah.
You never even thought I should have some crazy ass pepper spray.
I didn't really have any kind of self-defense anything. No. I
I don't know what to say about this.
I survived.
Yeah, you survived.
But continuing
Good
the story, though, continuing the story.
So scary. Okay, yes. Continue.
um, I was worried that like after like the rattling stopped and everything, I was worried that like they thought that nobody was in there and that this is a perfect opportunity to like break in. So I was worried that they were leaving to go find something to break the window with.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and so as soon
I
as
would have been worried about that as it was happening.
Obviously, I was worried.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was worried that they were gonna get in.
I know.
What was I supposed to do in that instance?
No, you just pull out that pepper spray you don't have. But
yeah. If you were me in that instance, what would you have done?
Pots and pans in your hand? I don't know.
And doing what?
I don't know. Be ready to go, like, Wile E. Coyote them? Like,
no, I was petrified. I was sitting in my bed being like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Wide awake at this point. And they walk, I hear them walk away and I was like, okay, I don't want them to come back and break the window or something. So I of course, like I sleep with my keys. That was like the best thing I could do.
Yeah.
So grab my keys, jump in the driver's seat and just drive. And I just drove like elsewhere. And that was the scariest thing that ever happened to me when I lived in the van.
I'm just so curious. Like, how long did you drive for and how did you pick the elsewhere? Because after that happening,
well, because this happened to me at like 1 a.m. and I have to be up at 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm up now. So I don't know. I don't even remember where I went or what I did.
That's a trauma response. I wish you could remember where you went, but you just can't.
No,
you?
I just left.
No.
I just got the fuck out of there.
Did you go back to sleep anywhere before you had to go to work?
No. I was like,
wow.
I was up and yeah. And then, because people ask me all the time, like, what's the scariest thing that ever happened to you when you lived in the van, or did you get fucked with at all, or like,
it's a valid question
because it's dangerous. Of course, I knew that. Obviously, like, it is a dangerous thing to do, especially by yourself, and especially living in the city. And
I don't know if the city is particularly more dangerous than out in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna posit that. I think equally dangerous, probably.
Well, yeah, I mean, just living in your car in general.
Yeah, out in the nowhere, you just get people who are super opportunistic and think nobody's watching. So it's probably equally dangerous, I'd say. I don't know. I have to get the stats on that from the National Van Life Association.
Yeah, but people ask me all the like. I feel like the number one question that I got asked all the time when I lived in the van is like, "Where do I go to the bathroom?"
Yeah,
or like, "Where do I shower?" And then always like, "Is it scary?" Or like, "Have you ever had someone break into the van?"
Yeah.
No, thankfully
that never happened. That was amazing that nobody ever broke into your van though. That's actually kind of rare. So you were really lucky.
The amount of times that I called AAA though. I wish I could have stats on that.
Yeah, AAA, it's there for a reason.
Yep. I'm glad that I had a AAA.
What was your average AAA call for?
Dead battery.
Yeah, I knew that.
For sure.
Yeah. There's the van life. I think we should talk about. We're gonna do a whole separate episode how van life and dead battery just go together.
Like one time, I was parked in a Starbucks parking lot, classic. That also shared a parking lot with a Walgreens, and like the Starbucks was closed because it was late one night, and it was like so gross outside. It was like raining and everything, and Rose's battery was dead. And so I was stuck there, like in a parking lot, and I was like, fuck. And so I called AAA, and of course it takes them forever to get where you are. Yeah. And
I mean, stuck in a parking lot, that's actually that's better than many places, kind of.
I know, but I was afraid that I was going to get towed.
Yeah.
Like,
well, not when you're there and like, okay, yeah. But anything like that, yeah.
My worst fear, no matter where I was getting towed.
Oh, absolutely. You're at work all day. You come home, your house is gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, not cool, man.
So it doesn't matter if I was in the van or not. I was always afraid I was going to get towed. But I went into that Walgreens and just thinking like, oh, I just need to like waste some time. So I just went like on a tiny little shopping spree.
Yeah.
But I bought a journal there, and I journaled in that journal. Like my first entry was of me sitting in that parking lot and just like that night and how that night went. And I still have that journal.
Nice. I'm still surprised. I mean, weren't you keeping other journals up to that point?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
But I
But
specifically bought that journal.
This is a new chapter.
Yeah, I specifically bought that journal to just like, I don't know. It's such a tactile thing to remember that night and like where I was and what I was doing.
Totally. And it's always, when you're obviously trying to waste time in a Walgreens, you can only look at the product so much.
And I have the receipt of the journal in my notebook too, because I wanted to remember the exact time that I bought it.
Oh, that's awesome. What time was it?
I don't remember.
No, you don't know that number. Was it
I
middle of the
have
night?
it though.
Go dig it up.
It wasn't in the middle of the night. No.
No. So let's go back to like okay, that's a terrifying story, by the way. I'm still worried for you, and I hope when you go to van life again, I'm gonna buy you at least a can of bear spray, just because.
For sure. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have.
I'll automatically. I'll actually install bear spray from the outside, like South Africa style, that you can just push a button from the inside.
Oh hell yeah!
Get anyone on the outside. Like that's the way to do it, man.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Don't even open the door and engage. Just have like a warning sound, like there will be bear spray. Just fucking sprays everywhere on the van. I'm gonna get you one of those. That's how much I care about
gnarly.
you. Yeah, well,
I'm about it. I'm about it.
But so safety next time. But let's go back to like your actual day-to-day life, because you have this job where you're at Starbucks and you're an opener, which educationally for me that's a sleepy job. That's an early job. I don't know how. As someone who had the opposite schedule where I worked till very late, but then would go to bed and sleep in, like that's a different schedule. That's hard to keep. And so, what was your daily like? Obviously, where'd you go to the bathroom? Kind of interesting. Not really. But like, what would you do with your day? You'd wake up at 3:00. You have to take the bus to do your work.
Yeah. So usually,
what time would you get off? And
usually,
then what was your recreation like?
Usually I would get off work around like, if I was lucky, I'd get off work around 10.
Oh wow, that's
10
nice.
in the morning,
Yeah.
Or I would never work later than 1:00 in the afternoon.
I would hope not.
Which was nice.
That would be like some bad stuff.
Yeah. So it was always like in between like 10 and 12, I would get off.
Okay.
Which was nice. I was fucking exhausted all of the time, Starbucks can be an entire episode of
exhaustion,
just its own thing,
and it's chemical like
Starbucks is a cult. But so I would I always had to set like reminders on my phone of like where I parked.
Oh shit!
So that
I would sleep deprived. Like I can't remember where I parked.
So
I lost my minivan.
I would take the bus back to wherever I was parked, and I learned throughout the years that like other neighborhoods were better than where I was. Like I moved over to Ballard, and Ballard hates van lifers so much.
Yeah, I mean they've historically had the worst of it, and it's this. Like I said, this is a whole nother episode that we haven't got to, like the term van life and where it became a good thing versus like that's
well,
eras.
even when I was van dwelling in not so great areas, like I was van lifing behind the Safeway in Lake City, and usually it's like when I see other like buses, particularly like schoolies, then I would think, okay, these people are like, I never felt sketched out anytime I saw like a van or like a school bus or anything. What
about a dilapidated RV?
Yeah, those are a little scary.
Yeah.
It totally depends.
There's levels here. There's total levels. And it's
But I would park there, and those people don't bother you. They leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah, because most of them are trying to like survive themselves.
Exactly.
Do their own thing.
Exactly. So,
but it's also the crazy thing about that is that it's like you said, like Ballard hates van lifers because there's too many of them. So like it was also a detriment if you'd see a bunch of schoolies and vans. You're like, well, yeah, I can probably get away with sleeping here, but there's probably a greater backlash in the general neighborhood towards.
I mean, when I parked in Ballard, I would never park around like another van or anything. I would mostly park in like one other
like legit resident.
Yeah, but the residents don't like that, which is fine. But my favorite.
Did you meet any Ballard residents?
Yeah, I did. This one lady, she got, and I know it was a lady because I seen her do it. Saw her do
What'd
it.
she do?
Saw her, like call parking enforcement, like right in front of the van,
Yeah.
like about me.
Like you're in the van and she
I would
doesn't
be
know it?
in the van, like shades down, of course. I'm like
Yeah.
incognito and shit, and she'd be on the phone with parking enforcement. But I would park in front of her house because her house was right next to the apartment complex that my friend lived at.
Oh.
And so I would park there all the time.
Which is crazy
And-
because that means she lives in a house next to an apartment building. She should
Yeah.
like chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because
And like I
people in apartments have friends with cars.
And I followed the law. Like I would never leave
Yeah.
Rose parked more than 72 hours in one spot. And, I'd move her frequently and I was quiet and I never littered or blah, blah, blah. I did all the things. But she just she hated me. So I would have like that bright orange parking enforcement sticker
Yep.
telling me to move.
The one that's hard to peel off too, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'd had that on Rose like every day for like several weeks.
Because you kept parking near this one lady's house?
And so it just got to the point where I was like,
Were you doing it to mess with her?
I was doing it to mess with her.
Yeah.
Like I
Entitlement,
would park
man.
there. I'd park
You
there
own,
like
you own your house. You don't own the sidewalk. You don't own the street. You
Exactly.
don't own the fucking neighborhood.
yeah.
you know?
So I'd park near her house one day, and then I would park somewhere else like for a couple days, and then I'd come back, and then I would leave, and then I'd come back.
I love how you gamified this. It's actually like a fun game for you now.
No, yeah, she was, whatever.
Do you think she ever? Do you think she spied on you enough to know that it was you, this fun little girl in this van?
No, I mean at one point, like I wanted to actually like go up to her house and like talk with her and introduce myself and be like, "It's just me. It's just me. We could be friends.
Yeah.
We could be friends
I
if
might
you
even
wanted
hook you
to."
up. I could hook you up with coffee.
Yeah, I could. Dude, I got the hookup at Starbucks.
Yeah, you want the hooks?
I could bring you.
She blew it.
I could bring you bags of coffee.
She
girl.
blew it. Yeah. Oh my God. Park in front of my house. I want these kind of hookups. Come on.
Yeah.
There we go.
So that was Brattleboro. My favorite neighborhood to park in when I was living in Rose was definitely Magnolia.
Yeah, because that's Magnolia. Like, it depends on what part of Magnolia, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But Magnolia is also the kind of neighborhood that would be full of old people who just owned vans like that would just be parked there. And so like literally like Joan is gonna think it's like Becky's old van. You know what I mean?
Just always could always find good parking there.
There's a lot of parking in that neighborhood.
A lot of
I mean,
parking.
that's why the other like West Seattle, same thing. There's a lot of parking.
just a
There's
lot of like
a lot more space
streets
to just kind of also the two more.
And so quiet, just the quietest neighborhood.
That is the quietest neighborhood.
Yeah, love Magnolia. Shout out
people.
Magnolia.
Yeah, there's some problematic things about Magnolia historically that you might want to know before you shout it out too much.
There's a lot of problematic things about America.
Yeah, well, Magnolia is the OG red line neighborhood. I don't know if you know what that means, but
Are we having a history lesson?
well, as we're giving Magnolia a shout out, I have to occupy Dewamp territory.
Go for it. Go off.
I'm not going off. I mentioned it. Anyone who wants to look that up can look it up. They know, everybody knows what redlining is, and Magnolia was the original, like one of those neighborhoods in Seattle. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I ever parked there.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean that led to a bunch of old people living there and easy parking. So good job. It worked out. Yeah. That's good.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about your van stuff?
No, wait. We're not done with this yet. We're not done with this yet. So I'm still trying to get through the life because you didn't go. Okay. So obviously you probably had a gym membership, right?
I did.
Where did you spend? So in the summertime, what was your favorite park? Would you be like, yeah. And so you didn't quite finish the story. So you worked till 10 or noon. Would you come directly and sleep some during the day?
Sometimes I would.
Where was the sleep happening?
At nighttime, mostly.
Really?
Yeah.
So you'd stay up from noon till...
Sometimes I would. It depends. It depends on how my day went, honestly.
You're kind of a champion napper these days. So
Yeah. Sometimes I could nap during the day.
Right.
But mostly I was trying to do shit. I was trying to be outside a lot. I went to Carkeek Park a lot. I went to Matthews Beach Park a lot. I was mostly, obviously I was north a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Golden Gardens, I would go to parks pretty much every day and just hang out
Yeah,
outside.
that's good living.
I would go to the laundromat if I needed to do laundry.
Yep.
Eventually, I found my favorite laundromat.
Ooh, which one? Shout out.
It's in
We're looking for
Ballard.
sponsors.
It's in Ballard. It's right across the street from the Goodwill in Ballard.
Okay. Now,
It's like
that one's the next to
Blue
the
Moon Laundry or something.
Well, it's also
like
next
that.
to the fancy mini mart. It is.
Okay.
You can have beers in the mini mart. It's one of the
Fancy mini mart.
two fancy mini marts in Seattle where you
Cool.
can be like, oh, I'm gonna have a beer at the mini mart. That's cool. That's good. That's a good one. So you'd hang out. So that's cool. You'd be able to stay up till.
Oh, it was great. God, I loved van life so much. It was like,
But let's talk winter though, because that's like summertime. Yeah, spring,
oh,
summertime.
winter sucked.
So what would you do with this? What was this afternoon time like held up? Why in the
I spent a lot of time.
park era?
Oh, I took you there one time. I went to I spent a lot of time at this cafe, like kind of in the Ravenna, like U District neighborhood. God, I can never
Oh,
remember
you
the
took me
name of
there?
it. Yeah, remember we went there that one time and like the guy that worked there was like knew what I was gonna order. I ordered like a turkey pesto sandwich and like a Coke.
Nice.
We went there once.
God, I don't remember. In the Ravenna neighborhood?
Yeah.
Where did we go?
But I used to go there all the time, and I went there so much. And see, the thing about living in the van, which we have talked about before, like a lot of things, just van life in particular, and especially when you're relying a lot on like third places or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
It's like I had a list of my favorite places to go, and my favorite places to go always consisted of, can I charge my shit there? Like,
Yep.
are there outlets that
Yeah.
I can use?
Because if you're eating food,
pretty
you might as well be
easily.
charging something. Yep.
Yeah. Is there an outlet in the bathroom
Yep.
so that I can do my hair, particularly like curl my bangs because I had bangs,
Nice.
and because I had a rechargeable hair straightener, but like sometimes I needed to go to the bathroom.
I'm sure.
and, like,
I'm sure the
I
rechargeable hair
needed to use
straightener
it.
goes through battery probably pretty often.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I had nowhere to charge it because this was pre-built. This is
Do you-
pre-solar.
Do you still have this list?
No, I don't. I still have this list.
Ah, that
But
seems
I knew it in my head, and I
Yeah.
knew which Starbucks like bathrooms didn't have a bathroom
I'm so
code.
frustrated. I still can't remember the Ravenna Cafe. What's it called?
I don't remember.
What street's it?
Wait,
on?
Urban Lux. That's what it's called.
Urban Lux.
Yeah.
Where is it? Like,
I don't know the
Okay,
street
okay,
name or
okay.
anything. We went there once.
no, I went there once. Damn it,
A long time ago.
a long time ago. Okay. Well, okay. So that's summertime. I understand. Then fall, we got some third spaces going on.
Yeah, I would.
But, like-
coffee shops mostly.
But like,
or my friend's house.
yeah, okay. You got a friend's house because it's hard to spend like
For
six,
sure.
8 hours like in a coffee shop. You know,
Yeah, I mean, well,
what was your max shop time actually? What was your maximum like amount of time you could chill in like some cafe? And be
like 4 hours
4 hours. Yeah.
probably.
Were you pretty regular 4 hour?
No,
No.
I wouldn't say so.
Nice.
Like I'd like to switch it up. I didn't like to go to like the same one all of the time.
Yeah, that's a good idea for many reasons. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the same time, do you always have a gym membership too?
Yeah.
Were you just like super swole?
No.
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 Was there any working out going on at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Little
Yeah.
team bit, you walk over there.
Depending on how I felt. Sometimes I just wanted a shower.
Yeah.
That's all I was there for. But sometimes, oh, this is like a first world problem. Sometimes I would go to the gym and like I would show up just at the right time where they just started cleaning the locker room, so it was closed.
Oh,
And I'm like, fuck, I literally have no, like, this is the reason why I'm here is to use the locker room.
that's the day
So
you
I'm
got
like,
buff.
Damn it. Now I have to actually work out.
Are
No,
you
but
sure
I
you're not
mostly-
misremembering that that's the only times you worked out?
No, I would work out.
You got a schedule.
Yeah,
Nice.
I did.
All right.
I did. But I would mostly, I would use like the stretching area because I couldn't really stretch in the van.
Yeah. Well, and actually, yeah, you need some stretching when you're living in a van,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I would use the stretching area.
That's
Like
awesome.
my yoga mat and stuff. I would do that.
That's it. That's funny. That's actually like the crampedness, especially that van, because that was a non-stand-up van.
Yeah, I couldn't stand up.
Yeah. What do you think about non-stand-up vans at this point?
Never again.
Yeah.
Never
that's
doing that again.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Been there, done that.
Let's go back and like what was heat situation in that van too?
I had a Mr. Buddy heater.
Mr. Buddy.
That was my go-to.
Everybody lives.
And it
Who doesn't
sucked.
love Mr. Buddy? Yeah, but they suck. But they are also an absolute savior. So
Yeah, it definitely.
love hate with a Mr. Buddy is just the only relationship anyone can have with them.
Yeah, so like winter in van life was a lot of like, okay, man, I can't believe that I did that.
What's
for
your
as long as I
blanket
did.
technology? What's your sleeping bag
I would like
technology?
I had a sleeping bag, and then I would just be like piled under a bunch of blankets. Like that's pretty much, oh, and I had like this
how deep is this?
you know
pile?
like Snuggies.
Oh yeah,
So I had like kind of one of those that I would
Sweet.
sleep in.
yeah.
And I would sleep with like my work clothes that I was going to wear the next day in the sleeping bag with me.
Well, that's just cold weather technique. Yep.
Yeah,
But then socks got to be in there.
But then I would sleep with the Mr. Buddy heater like pretty close to my bed so that when I woke up in the morning, I could just reach one arm out and start it.
Nice.
And when I started it, then I brought my clothes out to set in front of the Mr. Buddy heater to warm up.
There's nothing like toasted underwear.
And then I would like quickly get out and quickly put on like my warm clothes. And then I would get back in the sleeping bag and then do my makeup in the van
Dang.
at 3 a.m.
At 3 fucking a.m. Dude, you're so hardcore.
And I did that for so long.
For
Why did I
years.
do that? Why did I, like,
Which part? Wait, which
that's
part
crazy.
of the why? Which part of the why?
Just like, it's mostly like winter. Summer van life, easy.
I know, but once you
Easy.
commit to van life, that means you have not signed a mortgage, a lease. You know, you're
I
deep.
know.
You're going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just wild to me that like I'm such a bitch when it comes to cold. I don't like being cold.
No,
I avoid
know
literally
this.
everything I can
To be cold.
To
Not
be
To
cold.
not be cold. To not
To
be
not
cold.
be
Yeah,
cold.
no.
like so thinking that maybe that's the reason why I'm like that now.
Well, I mean,
it's because I
probably
refuse to be cold because of the shit that I went through.
Well,
back
you
then.
totally did. Like, and this is like, I think pre-van build, that van has no insulation.
No insulation, no.
It's like, I don't care. Mr. Buddy heat just is probably like right in front of you only.
Mhm. Yep.
Yes. I've had non-insulated campers. They're just, not insulated.
Yeah, and I did that. Yeah, and I did that for so long, and it was just like a constant, like definitely waking up and like my drinking water is frozen, and
Did your pee jar ever freeze?
dude,
Oh, I'm sorry. We hadn't brought up the pee jar.
no, that's totally fine. An Nalgene bottle. It was a Nalgene bottle.
Nice. Now
And it was purple.
How is your aim?
My aim
Yeah.
is great.
Amazing.
Women who say that they can't aim, by the way, is false.
Really?
I was gonna say something about this. Say something to you about this when we went snowboarding yesterday.
Right.
And I went to the bathroom, and I'm just like, okay, it's one thing when I enter like a public bathroom where like I know that a dude has been in there and like the
Yeah.
toilet seat is up and there's like pee all over the seat and
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. It's another thing when you walk into a women's bathroom and there's
Dude.
pee on the seat. I'm like, I know that women squat, but even when you do
You
squat,
should be able to make it.
fucking either aim or
have
like
a story
wipe the
about this.
seat off.
I have a story about this that changed my vision as a man completely. Because I was at the I was at the Full Tilt Ice Cream, which is like a fun ice cream and
I
beer
know Full
bar.
Tilt.
Yeah, ice cream beer place. So there's kids and adults playing pinball and stuff. And these teenage girls go into the bathroom, and they're in there, a couple girls together. I'm like, yeah, whatever, couple girls together. And I had to go to the bathroom next because I was having beer, and I come into the bathroom. Oh my fucking God. They had fucking done I don't care what man might dribble, get a little over here, a little over here. It was fucking everywhere. And they were these like, trying to be cute, 14, 15-year-old girls. I was like, oh my God. You guys just went in there and blew the fucking bathroom up. Like, and you're still in here playing video games. You don't
Like,
think
what, was it just pee
pee
everywhere?
everywhere, dude.
What
Pee,
the fuck?
pee just like all over the toilet seat and all over the floor around it. Like it was shocking. I was there with a bunch of teenage boys and I was like, dude, it's gross. There's some girls just went in that bathroom. We just gotta hold it, man.
Yeah, so on that note, my aim is great.
Okay, that's good.
But Nalgene bottles have a very wide mouth
Oh yeah,
on
totally.
them, so
Yeah, totally.
we were good there. And I would never drive around with my pee.
Really? You promptly dispose of.
I try to.
Yeah,
to my very best ability.
Well, it's not.
I would never
not a
fall
subject-
asleep with a full pee bottle though.
yeah.
There's no chance.
Definitely not driving to Colorado where it's 90 degrees out with full.
Oh my god. I wonder whatever happened to that bottle. I mean, obviously I threw it away, but
Yeah. Well, hopefully
Like,
that one
I don't
did
know
not
what-
get recycled.
I don't know at what point I threw it away. Like, I don't know how long I actually had it. Like, did
Yeah,
it
and-
survive the van build?
And here's the worst
I don't
part.
remember.
Were you callous enough to give it to like the Goodwill?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Oh my god.
'Cause,
You know, it kind of sucked though. I had some really rad stickers on that bottle
Oh,
that
I-
I'm kind of sad that I don't have.
I bet stickers. That's what. Yeah, a stickered up. Now that's what I'm saying. If you accidentally gave that a coolly stickered up Nalgene bottle to the Goodwill that you peed in for 2 years.
Okay, that's that person's
some
problem
poor hippie girl.
for buying a fucking Nalgene bottle at a Goodwill.
Well,
No.
dirtbaggins be dirtbagging,
No.
I would. Yeah, I would never pay full price for a Nalgene bottle. See, I swear to God, this is a whole nother episode of van lifing versus dirtbagging. They're
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to do another.
We really have
Another
to. 'Cause
episode about this.
There's some cultural differences that have happened
Guys,
over
you
the
have
years.
to understand that like van life is such like we could talk about this subject.
I'm advocating for
forever.
4 to 5 episodes. Like
He really
She wants to
is.
do like 2.
I want to do like 2 just because I think people are going to lose interest in this. But I don't know. I mean, who fucking cares, honestly?
the kind of people that are interested in
can
what we
make-
talk about is, they're a special group already.
He's so right.
We calling you special in the best possible way. I'm special too.
Did you have a pee bottle?
What's that?
Have you ever had a pee bottle?
I'm a boy.
Have
I've
you
had
ever-
a million pee bottles. Plus I'll pee out the door. I mean,
See, that's the thing about
my
that.
camper van technique is
can't-
crack the door open, pee out the door.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that you did that yesterday when we were snowboarding too.
Of course, yeah, snowboarding.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was
Yeah.
like,
I pee
man,
free. But
to
my motto
be
is
a
I
dude-
pee freely.
to
totally.
be a dude.
Now I will
What?
admit to, there's some long ass road trips. Have you ever peed while driving?
Why can I only think of Dumb and Dumber?
Because I don't know. Is that a scene in there? It sounds like it should be.
What?
I don't
We need to watch Dumb and Dumber.
It's been a minute since I've seen that.
He's like peeing in
Well,
like 12 beer bottles.
Yeah.
While he's driving.
So that's the bummer. See, as a man, you got to be able to like.
You're not
judge,
gonna pull over?
No, you got to be able to judge the content. Is a 16
Oh my
ounce
God.
You drank a 16 ounce Coca-Cola. You think you'd only pee a 16
No,
ounce Coca-Cola.
no.
Right? So you got to like,
Oh my God. When was the last time you did this?
Oh, dude, it's been a long time. It's a long time ago.
Thank
but
God it was a long time.
Yeah, it was a very long time
This is why I
ago.
don't fall asleep while you're driving.
This is the kind of era when I had to drive by myself like a million miles. And you're like, I don't want to stop to pee. I got a bottle right there. I'm going to pee in there. I've done it. But I've definitely done it where I was like 16 ounce or like a 20 ounce Coke bottle. You get the 20 ounce unscrewable bottle. Oh, dude. You're driving. You're on I-90. You're going 70 miles an hour. You're peeing in a bottle.
Can you like stop your pee?
Not really. Not very easily. No.
I've always been curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, you could use a crazy clamp, but that shit's just gonna come back right
Oh my God.
away. You definitely not optimal, not happening. So then you're just like at the point where you're like, oh my God, 14 ounces, 15 ounces.
No, I know because when I used to pee in my Nalgene bottle, I knew that I was
Nalgene's 32.
I knew that I was having a day if I could fill it in
Nice.
one go.
Nice. Was
That wouldn't happen very
Was that a
often.
nice? Was that a good feeling of accomplishment?
No, it's scary because when you're reaching the top, the
That's what I'm-
splashes.
Exactly. When you're reaching the top and you're driving a car, it's.
No.
So you've never done that. You said
No.
you said you had good aim. I was just like checking if.
Yeah, but I also said that Nalgene bottles have a very wide opening. Not a Coke bottle.
Yeah, creativity, man.
And not in a moving vehicle.
Yeah, I don't recommend this at all. I think, yeah. I'm probably sure it's illegal.
Probably, yeah. reckless driving and like urinating in public.
But so that's only half the equation, you know. So you're peeing in an Nalgene bottle, you know. You gotta like, where's your once a day, you know?
Once a day?
That just at Starbucks all the time because you work at Starbucks.
No.
No. That's what the gym's for.
The gym, other coffee shops.
Other coffee shops.
I don't know. I wasn't a routine once a dayer.
Right. That's probably not good for you.
I know.
It's probably been
I know.
You've trained yourself in a bad way there. Oh my God. So, but then you still got like, you know, I'm still kind of amazed. So you'd say you drive around, you're at the park, you're hanging out, or it's a coffee shop, friend's house. At what time of night you're like, okay, I got to find a parking spot? And, you know, would you?
It depends. Like, it depends on.
How often would you pull the full 72 hours, like 3 days in one spot?
Pretty often.
Yeah. So you'd try and find a good one and go to work.
Yeah.
And not move in the days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, you know, also depends. Depends on what I needed to do or if I wanted to do something different that day.
Yeah. You're free and wild. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. But also the stress of like finding somewhere to, because I wasn't just like parking for the night. I was also parking for the entire next day too.
Yeah.
Until I got off work. So
if you could tally up in your brain, I know this is going to be impossible technically, but like how many different places do you think you had that you would park?
Like my go-to spots?
Yeah, like go-to spots. Like
probably like.
You kind of have to have like
3.
Really?
3 or 4.
You got away with 3 go-to spots? Not more than that?
You mean like at one time or just overall?
No, I mean kind of overall.
Oh,
you know, like
probably like a dozen.
Yeah. Even that's a low number in my opinion. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would have thought you would have had to have like 20 different like areas you went. You know, like when you're in Magnolia, was it always kind of the same streets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the same streets. Summertime.
Well, I guess also, I mean, I didn't even think about this, but you also had to keep in your placement choosing, like, is it near a bus stop that goes to work?
That was that was the biggest.
I guess that's kind of the big
biggest
limiter right there.
Yeah, it was either that or when I worked at Starbucks, they introduced this partnership with Lyft. It was mostly during COVID that it happened, where we got $20 off a Lyft ride if you worked in a particular district. So downtown counted as that.
That's cool.
And if you worked before the hours of, I think like 8 a.m. and the hours after 8 a.m., you got like $20, a $20 discount off of a Lyft.
That's cool.
So if I was within like the $20,
did you know the
distance,
Lyft circles?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was usually, and then of course, like being able to take the bus back to wherever I was parked afterwards. Yeah, that was a huge reason.
Yeah.
Of
Did you ever find some spot park there and just be like, "Fuck, this is the worst."
like a parking spot that was.
Yeah, like what was okay? So Magnolia is the best. What's the worst? What's the worst place?
Northgate.
Yeah. Northgate. I believe I want to point out. You said by the Lake City Skate Park.
It was by the Lake City Skate Park. Yeah.
That is definitely not a good place.
Yeah. I know that now.
No bear spray, no mace. But you said some ex-boyfriend left you some giant knife.
Oh, he did leave me a knife.
So you did have like a giant knife.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was.
Yeah, you didn't know where it was. You didn't even have it like strapped on like
no
aggressive style.
No.
Wow. I love your faith in the world. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going day by day, man.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean, that's the freedom that van life should have given you. I'm still, okay, so let's quickly, you said you got several plus a couple trips to Colorado. Any highlights of those trips, like what was the destination that made it feel like you were, that basically did doing those trips while you were also urban van life living, get it out of your system, make it feel like, yeah, I am adventuring. I am, doing the national parks or whatever.
I never went to a national park in Rose.
Not one national park?
Well, no, that's a lie. I took Rose to Arches.
That's a national park. It's a pretty famous one.
Yeah,
too.
I just said that.
Yeah. But only one. How about county parks?
Yes.
When you did these road trips to Colorado, were they just beeliners?
Yeah.
See, you didn't take the scenic route. I know
Not really, no.
we're trying to
I want to say that like the moment that I felt the most stoked about Rose in particular was my drive back to Seattle after the build.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this finally feels real. Like this finally feels like a van.
You've added solar power.
Yeah, solar power. Just a fucking game changer. I was so stoked that I had a fridge in the van. Like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. This was a side question. I'm glad you brought the fridge up because in all this talk of van life, you've never talked about like cooking in the van. Like
I didn't cook in the van.
Like literally.
It was the
Once again, this is the
biggest-
difference between van lifing and dirt bagging.
Yeah, no, it was
Like-
the biggest pain in the butt, especially pre-build. Post-build wasn't that bad because I had like a freshwater and a gray water tank and I had a sink and a pump and like all of that stuff. But before that, camp sink.
Yeah. But you literally, I guess you were just so financially stable because of this situation that you're just like, you didn't have the need to cook.
No, like I had, obviously I had a stove and I had,
Yeah. What'd you cook on the stove?
Ramen.
Okay. That counts. But nothing greater than ramen.
No.
You didn't have like a epic camper meal of like amazing
Pre-build?
potatoes or something?
No.
No.
Post-build, I made pizza in the van.
Nice. There you go.
Stovetop pizza. I was very proud of that.
Nice.
I made pasta.
There you go. See?
I made shit.
Now we're talking van food. You know?
Yeah, I didn't do that pre-build, so I didn't do that for very long. I didn't have like an actual kitchen for very long in the van.
Wait a minute. How long was post build before you peeled out and
Like
moved into an apartment?
6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very sad.
That's such a short period of the time.
Short period of time, I know.
God.
But man, on my drive back,
Well, once again, going back to the very first beginning of this podcast, and I was like, what did this teach you? Resilience.
yes,
Obviously, because you did all the hard part, and then you got to the easy part, and then the COVID stupid happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
But on the drive back to Seattle, though, like I remember stopping at like a gas station somewhere, and like I was stopping to like I don't know get a coffee
Beef
or
jerky.
something. Yeah, like snacks or something. But I like stopped and I was just like, oh my God, I could get like a Lunchable. And I could put it in my fridge because it's cold. And I could save it for later.
Wow.
And it's so hot right now because, middle of summertime. I like went in the back
a Lunchable.
and I turned on my fan and it was just like, oh, this breeze. And then I went in the back and I because my phone was dying and I plugged it into like my little solar battery thing. And I was like charging my shit and I was like, I'm going to have a great life. Like those are the things that you take for granted in such a huge way.
Oh, see, it's so great that you lived without him for so long. And like that little gas station moment right there.
Yeah.
Just like a fucking realization. You're like, I still
I was
crack
like,
up.
this is living.
It's a Lunchable.
I know. Well, I'm not going to put raw chicken in the fridge on my way to Seattle.
Why not? You got a fridge, man. You could have cooked that up on your grill, you know? Like, I don't know, yeah. But that's a great moment though. Like,
Yeah,
so what month of the year is that? Is that like springtime?
It was like May.
May. You just finished building. Did you go back? Yeah, what time did you go back to Colorado to build it?
April.
In April, and you spent a month doing it? Wow.
1 month.
A month sounds like a lot until you're actually building
It was
something.
so stressful. Just the fact that like when I went back to Colorado to do the build, like I did that specifically. I had a specific budget for it and I had like
How'd that go? How'd the budget go?
Great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I had $6,000 put away for the build.
That's
and
a
I
solid chunk.
spent 4.
What?
Yeah.
With the refrigerator and solar?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you're in charge of budgets.
What's
except
even
for food.
more crazy about that too is that we did it in April of 2020. Everybody was doing home projects. Like the fact that I ordered insulation, the fan, the fridge, the battery, all of the materials and everything, and nothing was back ordered.
That is, yeah.
That was the
I think
perfect.
that was at the very beginning of people getting like
Exactly.
having nothing to do. You
The
know?
fact that even if I would have waited like a month or two,
That's probably true. Yeah, 2 months.
I would have
2
ran
months later,
into
you couldn't have got the fan or the solar panel or something.
Like I remember,
Oh, wow,
I
crazy.
even remember my dad and I going to Home Depot and being like, we were like looking at it around it. Everyone were like, "Oh my god, we should probably be wearing masks." It was still around that time where like
Yeah.
masks weren't mandatory yet, and
No, that was a crazy moment where like, fuck.
it was crazy.
Everybody dealt with it in such different ways. So like, yeah, like
But yeah, me coming back to Seattle, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna live. And that was a great
it was
summer.
a really nice summer. I know
That was
because
a
I
great,
fucked off
like-
hard that summer. So
And I had
like, yeah.
a fresh van build.
Oh,
and
what'd
I
you do all
was
summer that summer?
living my life. I was like fucking just living my life.
Yeah.
Like I had lights in the van.
Lights in the van.
I had lights. I had like fucking LED like
This is when you you wouldn't.
lights.
I can't believe you didn't do like some
And a
more
fridge, like,
Washington
what are you
adventures that
doing?
summer. You were just like in Seattle.
No, I was chilling in Seattle. I
Yeah.
didn't really have anyone to like go do that shit with me.
Yeah. But then like that must have. I mean, that was a very nice summer. So
It was a beautiful summer.
it was a
great.
beautiful summer. There was
And
no
then
fire,
like
smoke,
we
or
realized that like 2020 was gonna keep happening.
anything.
and then-
Unfortunately, I did not realize that soon enough. I continued to goof off, but yeah,
Yeah. But
that's the
I think we need to make another or tune in next time.
yeah.
Our next episode I feel like should be about van life. I mean, obviously like all the things that you want to talk about like the meaning of van life now and then.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
we of course, like in all this time, we've described your 2 awesome vans here so far.
yeah, but
I have to actually do some math to figure out how many stupid camper vehicles I've
yeah.
rallied through.
But I think our next one should be about that, but also van life now, what we're doing with the van that you have now,
Sure.
and our plans for the future.
Yeah, that sounds great. I love that. I love plans. And it's actually kind of those will segue good together actually, because like, you know, kind of what we're doing with my van now is sort of what I've done a lot of, which is not quite full van life, you know, but it's hey, let's save this for another time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to be said there. And if I start talking,
Yeah. We all know that.
somebody
All right.
sometimes somebody over here has to shut me up, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming to our podcast again. Be sure
Yeah.
to sponsor us, Discount Tire, Batteries Plus. What's your gym? I don't know. Anyways,
Planet Fitness.
Mr. Buddy.
Mr. Buddy.
Mr. Buddy.
Shout out, Mr. Buddy.
Shout out, Mr. Buddy. Lifelong fan. Still frustrated with you, but lifelong fan.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. It's not too bad. A little over an hour
It's not
for
too
timing. Yeah, so tune in next time.
just
We're gonna
getting started.
we're gonna keep talking about van life. Probably these are great topics. But yeah, like and subscribe,
I hope.
comment, follow us on Instagram. I should
As
put
soon as
our,
we end this, I'm going to think of another question for you, and it's going
Oh, I know.
it's going
Well,
to be painful, but
I'm gonna
I'm
like
going to have to amendum. Is that a word?
I'm gonna. I just need to like shut off your mic while I'm doing these.
Okay.
I'm
signing
gonna follow us on Instagram. I'm gonna put our Instagram handles in the link in the description. Instagram links in the description.
I've got all
What
kinds
am I
of-
saying?
Yeah, no, that's good. You should do that. Mine's totally dumb.
We need to make like a separate Instagram for
We
just
really do.
our podcast.
Yeah, we do. Totally.
That'd
but
be fun.
going into our personal stupid ones is probably okay too.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening and tune in next time. We'll see you later.
We'll see you out there in her new van.
That's right. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.